I mean, you've got so many people, millions and millions of people watching the track, so into it, living and dying by every race, but then it fades away when the Olympics end. Is that the
Yeah,
idea here, to make track a year-round thing and not just a once every 4 year deal?
exactly. I mean, you think about, I built Grand Slam track in the mold of the four tennis Grand Slams, Australian Open, French Open, US Open, Wimbledon, the four golf majors. Every year you have these four tentpole events that where you've got the best of the best athletes, high stakes, jeopardy, the stories, people anticipating. And we saw that, you see that every four times a year for the golf majors. You see that four times a year for the tennis majors, Grand Slams. And we saw that for the Olympics. It was, you knew who the people were. You knew who all of those guys were who,
Yep.
wanted to be the Olympic champion in the 100 meters. You knew who they were. Some people, the Jamaicans, were all like, oh, it's going to be Kashane Thompson. Noah Lyles sucks, blah, blah, blah. You got the Americans. Noah's great, Kashane, no way he's going to be blah, blah, all of this stuff, and now everybody wants to watch. And then it's a thrilling race, at the end, 5 thousandths of a second separate those guys. You had 8, 9 people who wanted to win and get on the podium. Only 3 can get on the podium. Only 1 can win. So that creates compelling drama, and people are excited about it. And so we're creating that now 4 times a year as opposed to once every 4 years.
That's amazing. And I understand you've got some big prize money here, don't you?
Yeah, so not only do we have big prize money at $100,000 for first place, even our last place prize money is $10,000, which is equivalent to the current top circuit. Their first place prize money is $10,000, equal to our last place
Wow.
prize money. But in addition to that, these athletes as well, we're paying our racers a base compensation every year, so that they are guaranteed to be at all 4 of these races each year. So that way they are compensated. Fans know that they're going to be there. Fans know that we're going to see the best athletes racing together. So so we're really proud of that. So it's not just the prize money; the base compensation is a big part of this, which will propel some of our female athletes into being some of the highest paid athletes in all sports in the world. So which we're really proud of.
That's awesome. You mentioned Noah Lyles. I know you've already signed some big names, Michael. Who are you going after? Who are sort of what's the dream list of athletes that you would like to have in your organization?
Yeah, so of course we signed Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone just as an ambassador to help us launch the league back in June when we first launched. And Sydney just, of course, broke the world record again at the Olympics, and just a phenomenal athlete. So we're looking for the fastest people. So we needed to wait until after Paris, and now we know who the fastest are, and so we're signing more of those athletes now, and we'll be announcing additional athletes that we're signing for the league. So we don't start until next year. So we've got time. The season is still ongoing. So once the Paris was over, the Olympics are over, all of these athletes are back out there competing. And so we're still looking to make sure we know who the fastest athletes are. And those are the ones that we're signing to the league. But we only have 4 slots per each one of our groups. So we have 48 athletes that'll be signed contractually to the league. And so it's a very limited amount of slots, more athletes than slots. And so we've got to be very selective.
You said you want the fastest. I know you want the fastest. No, would you like to have Noah as part of the organization and out there racing on the track?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Noah is certainly one of those. I mean, Noah is the fastest. I mean, so he's those sorts of people that Noah Lyles, Julian Alford, who's the 100-meter champion, Gabby Thomas, 200-meter champion. Those are the sorts of people. Sydney, who's a world record holder, of course. Those are Cole Hocker, who just won the mile. 1,500 meters rather at the Olympics. Those sorts of athletes are the people that we want to be part of this league. But we also need, and we want their rivals as well, not just them by themselves. They need to be challenged. So we will have their rivals as well. And we're really excited about that. That's what people want to see. They want to see those rivalries. They want to see the best going head to head.
Michael, where is track right now? Do you like the spot it's in? I still remember, I think it must have been like 13 years old or so, and seeing you out there with the gold spikes and having that performance in Atlanta in '96 like you did. Do you like the current state of track, specifically American track, with some of the athletes that we've had, with Noah Lyles, with some of the other stars, the popularity that they've achieved? Where do you feel like USA Track is right now?
Yeah, so I think that the athletes are in a great position. They're doing a fantastic job of getting themselves out there, using social media to connect with fans, to put themselves out there, help people get to know them outside of just being an athlete, just what their interests are, sort of what their personal life is going, what's going on there, that's how fans connect with athletes. So the athletes are doing a great job of connecting with fans in that way. Our job then and what they need is they need help, they need support for that. They need a platform because ultimately they are athletes. So people want to see them compete. And if that's somewhere, where fans can't find it, but it's behind a paywall somewhere, or it's, in the middle of the night because they're competing on the other side of the world and nobody even knows it's happening, then it doesn't really help them. And they struggle then to bring those fans in. So the athletes are doing a great job. It's the sport itself and the structure of the sport that needs to come along, be modernized, and help them and then connect those athletes with fans. And that's what we're doing with Grand Slam Track. These 4 events will be, on the order of the UFC, Formula One, those sorts of sports where you see that fan experience is amazing for the athletes and for the fans as well.
I saw you in Paris. You were with some of your fellow Olympians, some of the legends. I think you were with Carl Lewis at a dinner. Why did you guys all get together there, Mike?
Yeah, so that was actually a Grand Slam Track event that I hosted with
Oh,
some
no
of the
way.
legends. Yeah, so some of the legends of the sport. So we hosted an event there with some of the legends of the sport who paved the way that, sort of made it possible for all of these other athletes. And, it's Carl Lewis, Edwin Moses, Sonia Richards Ross.
Wow.
Yeah, it was an
Not too bad a
amazing
guest list.
experience. Yeah, I mean, it was something. I mean, I think we had about, over 50 gold medals in that room alone, of amazing athletes. Maurice Green, Otto Bolden, Asafa Powell, former world record holder in the 100. So some of the fastest people in the world. We had some amazing athletes there. I had a good time. Just really, I wanted to celebrate, the greatness of the sport with some of the greatest athletes in the sport who have provided those memorable moments. Like you talked about being 13 years old, watching, me, or, those moments when you think about those great moments of this sport and that has made this sport so great, it's been those legends. And so I wanted to get them all in a room, and we'll continue to do that and bring these legends as a part of what we're doing with Grand Slam Track.